Hi, I'm Tom Shue, and today I'm going to teach you about the zone system. If you ever want to fully master exposure, you need to understand how the zone system works. The zone system was developed for film by Ansel Adams and Fred Archer. However, it still pertains to digital photography because this is how it works. Blacks is 0 and whites is 10. Okay? Well, if you look at those same things on the histogram, like Lightroom works from 0, which is black, to 100% white. If we look at the numbers underneath the histogram as I hover these, you'll see that each one of these equals the right number on the histogram. Well, this is the way that works. That 0 in your viewfinder between -3 and +3, that's 50%, 18% gray, or zone 5. They're all the same things. So instead of exposing for the shadow, we're going to expose for the highlight. So say we have a white piece of paper, okay? And we let the camera pick an aperture priority mode when we make a picture. We're at f4 at 800, 0 exposure compensation. The camera chose 1/60th and made this gray piece of paper. It was a white piece of paper on the wall, but it made it gray. We need to use exposure compensation to override it to make it white, but white with detail. So we have a model in front of us with a white wedding dress on, or somebody with a white suit or a white shirt. We want to have it white with detail. Okay, we don't want it to be blown out and be 100% white. So this is how you determine how to do that. Use exposure compensation. Right here I backed off of instead of filling the frame, I let it be 50% black and 50% white roughly, and tried to let the camera pick the right exposure. It couldn't. So we're going to override it. Right here I'm +1 on the exposure compensation, and we make a picture, and you'll see that the white's starting to look white and the histogram's getting close to where it needs to be, but it's not quite there. There's our highlight warning. It tells us when we've clipped and we've gone 100% white. So I went to 1 1/3 over, okay? And now, look at this picture. Now it's right where we need to be. It's white with detail. Because if I hang this right here, it's going to tell me if I'm at 100% white or I've clipped it and I've lost detail. It's not. It's as bright as it can get without losing detail. So here's the next picture. This is 1 2/3 of a stopover. And now if I hover this, you'll see that, hey, I've got no detail where that red is right there. So I've blown my highlights. Now the wedding dress doesn't have any detail. All those nice beads and pearls, they're gone. It's 100% white. So we don't want that. So I've determined that my camera with my sensor is to render something white needs to be 1 1/3 stops over to get white to look white. And that's going to be with all my pictures. So I can just say like any subject. This happens to be a dummy in the frame set with that 1/10 of a shutter speed, which is 1 1/3 over. That's what it chose, was a tenth. And now I've got the proper skin tones. If you set the proper white point with detail, let everything else fall where it falls, you'll have the proper skin tones. But you say, but the blacks aren't black. Well, that's where we develop them in post to make blacks black. So if we want black black, no problem. We drag them down and set a black point. Put it wherever you want. However, you need to expose for the highlights. Film what was exposed for the shadows, and in post or in the darkroom, use chemistry to get your highlights. In digital, it's expose for the highlights, and in post, drag down the shadow detail. That's it. That's the zone system. That's how it works, and this is how you can use it to understand exposure. I want to thank you all for taking time to visit my blog today, and until next time, we'll see you soon.